When a country runs out of foreign exchange and cannot pay for essential imports like oil or food, who steps in? And at what cost? This tension between urgent financial rescue and policy control defines the role of the International Monetary Fund. The IMF was established in 1944 at the Bretton Woods Conference with the primary objective of ensuring global monetary stability. The historical context is crucial. The world has just witnessed the Great Depression and competitive currency devaluations that deepened economic crisis. The IMF was designed as a cooperative institution to prevent such instability by promoting exchange rate stability, facilitating international trade, and providing financial assistance to countries in distress. At its core, the IMF performs three interrelated functions: surveillance, financial assistance, and capacity development. Surveillance involves monitoring the global economy and individual member countries to identify risks. Through regular consultations, the IMF assesses macroeconomic indicators such as inflation, fiscal deficits, and external balances, offering policy advice to maintain stability. The most visible role of the IMF emerges during crisis. When a country faces a balance of payments problem, which means it cannot meet its external payment obligations, the IMF provides financial assistance in the form of loans. However, this support is not unconditional. It comes with conditionalities, which are policy reforms that the borrowing country must implement. These may include fiscal consolidation, subsidy rationalization, currency devaluation, or structural reforms in sectors like banking and taxation. The logic is straightforward. The IMF aims not just to provide temporary relief but to address the root cause of economic imbalance. The functioning of the IMF is based on a quota system. Each member country contributes financially according to its economic size, and this quota determines its voting power and access to funds. As a result, developed economies hold greater influence in decision making, which has led to criticism regarding equity and representation. Emerging economies have consistently demanded governance reforms to reflect the changing global economic landscape. In contemporary times, IMF's role has expanded beyond crisis lending. It actively engages in capacity building by providing technical assistance in areas such as tax administration, monetary policy, and financial regulation. During the COVID 19 pandemic, the IMF played a critical role by extending emergency financing and enhancing global liquidity through special drawing rights. However, the International Monetary Fund's approach has been controversial. Critics argue that its conditionalities can impose austerity measures that may hurt social welfare and deepen inequality in the short term. Supporters, on the other hand, view these reforms as necessary for long term economic discipline and sustainability. Thus, the IMF operates at the intersection of global cooperation and national sovereignty. It acts as a financial stabilizer in times of crisis while simultaneously shaping domestic economic policies. Its effectiveness ultimately depends on balancing timely assistance with sensitivity to the socio economic realities of borrowing nations.